Happy Friday, my friend. It's Pat Sloan here on my daily video, and our topic for today is label making. We also have bringing home the Christmas tree. I want to talk to you about what's going on here at Sloan Central and my mission. Yes, I have a mission, and hopefully I'll get to that question today. I didn't get to it yesterday. Okay, we'll do it today. So first, label making. If you have, so this is your challenge, okay? Challenge, label making. If you have some quilts waiting to be made, quilted, waiting to maybe have binding on them, yes, raise your hand if you have quilts waiting to have binding. But what you need to do today, next day, over the weekend, is make some labels. Get the labels made. If you don't have anything waiting, if you're working on something, make the label for what you're working on. My whole gig with labels is if I don't make them in advance, I dread them, even though I love them. I love that they're there. My friends love they're there. My family, I give them to look for the label first. They don't even look at the top. Seriously, they look at the label. They want to see that I wrote it to them and made it personal. Labels are super important to the power of your quilt. Okay, so what I have, let's give you a few little easy ways to make labels. So I actually have this box that I keep label things in. I got it years ago with some plates. So the easiest one, come down here. So the easiest one is to take a square. This is my go-to method. Take a square, fold it in half. Now, these two sides, the straight sides, go in the corner of your quilt, and you'll put the binding on over top of them so those two are locked down, and then you just hand stitch this side down, and there is a triangle label. And I'll link you to my article that I have on this so that you can see it. So you're just taking a square, folding it in half. If you want to make it as tidy, a little bit fancier, cut it in half and then sew a pretty strip of fabric, matching strip to whatever you're sewing, and then put this in the corner. Okay, so you want to do something a little fancier. Maybe you have a leftover block from your quilt or just some leftover fabrics. If you make a small block and then put the white around it, this can be where you write everything. You write their name, the date, your name, all that good stuff out here on the edge. You can also look for pre-made labels. I bought a bunch of pre-made. These are all pre-made labels. Like this one, okay, I'll hold it up. This took me forever. You're welcome. Made with love. I need to put that one on the next one I give to my brother. You're one of a kind, and so is this quilt. So there's all kinds of labels, and you can go look on the internet for them. Also, sometimes there are panels. That's what this was, these kind of cream colored ones. This was a whole bolt of labels. So it's like a panel that was, or fabric, however you think about it, that was all labels. You just cut them apart. I love the postcard one. So I keep all of these in here to use. Now these, I would probably do the same thing I did here. Put fabric around them to make them a little bit bigger so I have more area to write on, because there's not a lot of area. I like to put the date, I like to put the city, I like to put other things on here. I'm not skimpy on my information, and that's because if it's mailed, I want everything on there. All right, so that is your challenge. Label. So we have Bring Home the Christmas Tree, row 2. We have had a lot of row 1 show up, a lot of just single cars, single groups of trees show up, depending on how you're approaching it. But this week we do 2 cars, and what I did on the Facebook group is there's something called topics, and you can do this for your post. Every time you do a post, you can then click it, and the 3 little dots on the right, you click that and you can say topic, and you can put Bring Home the Tree. And then everybody can find yours by going to the topics. You can also go in the search bar and put in the word tree, because when you post a picture of your Bring Home the Tree, if you use the word tree in your description, then everybody who searches tree, your pictures will come up. So it's it's a great way to go look. You can just go to the photos and scan, but of course there's a lot of photos because it's a big group. But this is the week we do row 2 and we have cars. So I have to see if my mom or my dad has a picture of one of our older cars. I need to get some pictures of the older cars. I'm not sure I have any, but of course my family pictures are not in that great of an organized shape. It just piles of the, and don't even talk about the digital ones. We have lots of digital. So, okay, spool block for today. Remember, I did a group of them, and that's probably what I'll do next time is cut up some more. I think I only have one more from this grouping. So this fabric was a present. It was sent to me by one of our friends, and it's got these darling little sailboats on red. So I'm going with that red and blue. I didn't bring the other ones down. But they're hanging up on the wall. Okay, let me tell you. First let's do the question, and then I'll tell you what's going on at Sloan Central Mission. So the question is from Darlene. Darlene wants to know whether to use steam or no steam when pressing. Now, this is kind of like one of those questions. Everybody has a personal preference. Some people don't like to put water in their irons. For me, okay, Pat, I put water and I use steam. I love steam. I also use a wool pressing mat. I love those. Love. This is a mini wool pressing mat I've been using since I've broken my wrist. And somebody asked, how did I break my wrist? If you go watch the June 22nd video, I'll link you below. I tripped on a sidewalk where the root brought the sidewalk up. But I tell you all about it on that video. So because I can't really carry, I'm not hauling my ironing board up and down. It's too much, it's too heavy right now. So I've got this little wool pressing mat, and I can't lift my big iron, so I'm terribly missing it because there isn't much water. I can put water in here. I actually did. You lift this little thing. This is a little mini iron that's the latest thing I could find. I can pour a little bit, like 2 tablespoons of water. It goes away almost instantly, and I don't have any control. I can't pump the steam, which is what I like to do. I like to, push the button and pump the steam. This one doesn't work like that. It just comes out of these, just a couple holes. So it got a little steam, had a little bit of steam, and that I've been using that iron. But I love steam, and I know some of you don't like steam. You like to spray with a water bottle. Mist your stuff. I don't really get that concept because I'm afraid that I'm going to distort the fabric. I'll get too wet after the block is made. I don't want to wet my block and distort it, because once it's cut and sewn into your quilt, if you wet it and you start pushing, you're going to take your block out of shape. You've got to be very, very careful if it gets real wet. So when you're steaming, you're not doing that. It's a different effect, different amount of moisture going on your block. And the wool pressing mat is like taking it from steam on the top. The pressing mat is holding that, and it just gives it a beautiful flat finish. For me, no steam, it doesn't give me that flat finish. I always feel my blocks are still, I don't feel like that. They're still not flat. They're sort of ripply or lifted. I just can't get that pressure. Plus I can't push very hard. That's the other thing. I don't have any strength. I don't have a very little strength back. So steam, yes. You all can give your opinions below. You can say what you like and why and how you deal with it. And so, Darlene, if you like steam, use it. All right, so what's going on? I decided yesterday, the day before yesterday, Wednesday, that I needed to get my space back into a working order, because I had a lot of deadlines and things right before I broke my wrist, and so I hadn't done that. And then now, of course, for almost 3 months, I haven't been able to do that. And I can't take things out and put things back very easily. I can't get to my bins up on the shelves. Greg has to pull those down. Even the ones on the back side of this koala table, it's like back over there underneath on the shelves. He has to lift them because they're heavy. But I can get to some things. So what do I decide to do? mission reorg. Maybe it should be called Mission Impossible, but I do this about twice a year. Mission reorg. Basically, I empty these bins. Like these bins, I will empty them and see what's in them. Like these two were total dump zones because I've just been putting things. I've got dump zones in my dining room because I haven't been able to clear space. So this is what I did. I got out, I have this extra table. So I got the extra table out and I started pulling all the stuff out of these bins and more bins on that back side. And stacks, the stacks that were over there that are all gone now, except for those that have to be folded and sorted by color. So what I'm doing is like pulling that and then pulling projects. I mean, I had like quilt tops in prime spot bins that had been done, like, but it should go over in where all the quilt tops are that need to be quilted. So it is going to take a while because I have to go slowly. Greg has to help me move things. I also have to do my regular work at the same time and do all the exercise for my wrists, which still take me about 2.5 to 3 hours depending on the day. And it's done not at one time. Like I have to do something, stop, do something. So my whole day is kind of splintered up. So I'm trying to sort of make this doable schedule and add in getting all this cleared up, because if I didn't start, it would never get done. It would never get done. It might as well be chaos out in those rooms because it's already messy. I might as well just start this process. I told Greg it was going to be messy for a few days. It could be a week. It's going to be messy. Nobody comes in our house, so it doesn't matter. It's just us. So that is my mission. And what I did is I found some things. So I decided, remember I showed you in the dump bin of project bin that I had this layer cake with some of this Tula Pink fabric? Well, I decided I'm not going to keep that. I'm not going to do that project now. You know, I have lots of wonderful ideas, but you know, we only have so much time. So I decided to, no, I'm not going to do that. I'll do something else. But I wanted to keep some of the fabrics because, like, who has, you know, you have to have banana fabric. That's why when I love doing these sort of scrappy things, I can go through my bins and find like a layer cake square that's got bananas on it. Like, so fun. The other thing I found two other things I have to show you. This is one. I found this panel which has got all these wonderful sayings on it. So farm, gather, I'll move back, farmhouse. Yeah, it is so cute. And here's the other side. It's got family, farm fresh. So I still found it. You look at the rooster. I found it, and you can get it with a light, like a lighter color, like a light charcoal rather than a darker charcoal. Yeah, so that is so cute. You could take those squares and put them inside stars. Wouldn't that be cute? And build a star around each one. Maybe, I don't know the size. Well, you can build that up, I think, for the middle of my Little Wishes project that's got the 9 patch in the middle. Instead, you could put that with a little border around it. Yes, yes. Okay, and the other thing I found, which I totally did not even remember, is that for the going on a picnic, I'm using the fabric line goldenrod, and I totally forgot that there was a panel of sayings. And guess what the sayings are? Look, have nothing in your house that you do not know to be useful or believe to be beautiful. William Morris. Do you think that was on my mind because I had, you know, this was probably like down in my memory somewhere? Okay, I will show you the other panels on a different day. I'll save that. There's 4 sayings on there, so I'm going to definitely have to do something with that one. But they're all good sayings, and I'll show you another one tomorrow. All right, my friend. It's Friday. Celebrate. Do your cars. Do your spools. We have sew-alongs coming up, so check your calendar for all the dates. I love you. Mwah. See you online.